Alright, we're doing a different type of video here today, guys. And yes, it is inspired by Post to Post. He made a video last year. If you guys don't know Post to Post Productions, go sub to his channel right now. Big hockey YouTuber. He did a video last year that did really well where he ranked all 31 NHL locker rooms. Okay, so I don't know. I just felt like his video was awesome. I loved his video. It was great. It was a great, awesome idea by him. Some of them were practice rinks and some of them weren't the official arenas for NHL teams. And that's not a slight on him. These are incredibly difficult to find. But I spent quite a few hours kind of going in here and trying to do the best of my abilities. There's one exception here that I'll bring up to you guys in a few minutes here. But I feel like in my list here, there are no practice arenas. I feel like it's just the main arenas that the NHL teams play in for games. So I try to be as consistent with that as possible. I've got a couple of photos for each team too to give a better look. And I wanted to make sure I gave a good ranking. Again, it's subjective, right? This is my opinion. My favorite could end up being your least favorite, right? Or vice versa. So if you're going to flame me in the comments about my taste in locker rooms, go right ahead. I have no problem with that. And of course, I want to see your guys' rankings down in the comments below, of course. And if you want to see more types of videos like this, make sure you smash the like button and let me know in the comments down below. Let's get into this, eh? Alright, so at number 32, surprise, surprise, the Arizona Coyotes. They come in last in a lot of categories in this league, and the dressing room, in my opinion, is one of them. This looks like a beer league dressing room. And honestly, there's nothing special about it at all. There's no really big stalls. They've got like shelves on the top where they can put some of their gear. Very open space, very bland. Okay, and I found this because of this guy who tweeted out that this is one of the last pictures in Gila River Arena. This isn't the locker room that they're going to have at the Arizona State University where they're going to play their games now, which, again, I can't believe they're doing that. But to me, again, like I feel like I've walked into 10 beer league dressing rooms that look exactly like this. The only difference is the Coyotes logo up top there. It doesn't look very special at all, not remarkable at all. Just super bland and does not look like an NHL dressing room. I think a dressing room in the NHL, you need to look like, wow, I'm in the show. This is big time, and this is not that. Next up, we've got the Chicago Blackhawks. To me, I mean, from the bland gray carpet to the lack of separation between the stalls, it's in a square, and the boring color, the brown for the seats. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess, that they have the little Blackhawk logo under each stalls. Those are probably like little cubicles to put extra stuff in, but nothing remarkable about this dressing room at all. Super bland, so I'm not going to waste any more time talking about it. All right, next up at number 30, the Anaheim Ducks. Now, I mean, honestly, this one is so bad, and just like the other one, it's just bland, right? I mean, the layout, I guess, is kind of cool when you look at it, but just from a perspective of like, there's nothing special about it at all. I feel like my dressing rooms in small town Alberta look exactly like this. And to me, an NHL dressing room cannot look like this. And again, you're going to see over the next course of this little while, a lot of rooms are going to be getting renovated because the players love playing in big time good rooms. And hey, this one, the Anaheim Ducks, is in need of a dire makeover. There's a reason it's so hard to find pictures of the dressing room online for the Anaheim Ducks. It's because it's so bad. Up next, we've got the New York Rangers. Now, this is one that I've actually seen in person. I remember paying for the tour around MSG and seeing this and being incredibly disappointed. I saw the Rangers locker room. It's really small. Like, these pictures don't really do it justice, but it's a small dressing room. Nothing special about it. I guess it's supposed to be like a microcosm of Madison Square Garden. Personally, I really wasn't a fan of it. I think it wasn't bland, but it was just underwhelming. That's the word I would use to describe this dressing room. Underwhelming. All right, next up, it's the Calgary Flames, and I want to clear up a misconception here because I've been in the Calgary Flames dressing room as well. My dad used to be friends with one of the old assistant coaches, and this picture that always circles around in videos talking about dressing rooms, this is not the Calgary Flames dressing room, okay? This is the room that they used at Mosaic Stadium in Saskatchewan, in Regina, for the Heritage Classic in 2019 against the Winnipeg Jets. That's why it looks so janky. It's a football stadium dressing room. However, this is the actual Calgary Flames dressing room here, and it's not much better, okay? I mean, it looks pretty basic, nothing too special about it. I mean, it's not as bad, I think, as the other one where you can see how industrial it looks and out of date, but hey, for a stadium from 1989, definitely you can see that the dressing room needs an upgrade, and the Flames, they need a new arena, period, but this dressing room is definitely out of date, but it's not as bad as the other picture that's circling around there, but still not great for the Calgary Flames. Alright, and now, in my opinion, this is where the list kind of just gets into a few where it's just very meh. Nothing special, nothing horrible. It's like, man, you're an NHL franchise. You could have done better than this. It's just kind of just lazy, just basic locker rooms, right? And this is the Philadelphia Flyers one. You can see nothing special about it at all. Doesn't stand out in any way, shape, or form. Everything's connected. They probably wish they had a bit more space between each other. Like some teams are going with stalls, but I guess there's the belief of certain teams that if the room is smaller and everything's connected, then the team stays connected and tight-knit and always together. But I guess that's just preference of the team. But as far as look, the Flyers, meh. Next up, we've got the Carolina Hurricanes room, and again, same type of thing where there's nothing too special about it at all. It's just a basic square. I do like the color scheme, like the black and dark gray and red. I do think that looks pretty cool, but other than that, I mean, a couple of nice posters up on the wall, but just your basic run-of-the-mill, older, I guess, mid-2000s NHL locker room. Next up, we've got the San Jose Sharks, same type of deal, nothing special, nothing that really stands out. The couple of cool cubicles, I guess, but I mean, I can't even pick out a feature in this dressing room that stands out from something else. It just looks just super basic, like just your super basic NHL locker room, hockey locker room in general. Again, this is probably a bit nicer than the beer league rooms I've been in, but it's not far off. It doesn't look like, wow, we're in the show. Next up at number 24, we've got the Ottawa Senators. Again, I think this one's kind of nice. I don't know what it is about it. Of course, this makes me hypocritical because some of them I'm going to like that look very similar to some of them that I didn't like. But the Sens, it's simplistic, but I think it looks good. Looks very sleek. It looks professional. Yeah, they could use a couple of more features, bells and whistles to make it nicer. I like how the seats are laid out. It looks like it's leather. There's some separation there. It looks like a nice locker room. I dig it. Next up, we've got the Dallas Stars room, which, I mean, I guess on the surface, if you look at it, it looks pretty basic. You've got the basic wood. It's a basic square. It's too small. Like, I think NHL rooms now, especially if they want to be luxurious, they should be bigger. But as far as a pretty simplistic room goes, it's okay. I like the pictures up on the wall there, the logo in the middle. More teams are going to put the logo up top on the ceiling, as you'll see in the list, instead of down on the ground, because it's bad luck. It's superstitious not to step on the logo on the ground. So the Stars are a bit outdated there. We'll see what they do in the future. But yeah, just very basic, forgettable dressing room. All right, next up we've got the Islanders, and this is the one that I was talking about where it's weird because the only picture I found of the room at UBS Arena where they play now, very recent, is this one where it's in mid-construction. So you're probably wondering, what makes it so high up on the list? You can see the remnants that it's gonna look like it's a good room, and I know that sounds so dumb, and honestly, I probably shouldn't even have the aisles anywhere near this high. I feel like the room is nice because they're in a brand new arena in Belmont, and the rink is nice, so that's why I like this. And if you look at this is the old room they used to have at the old Nassau Coliseum, so huge upgrade for the Islanders there. Next up, we've got the Seattle Kraken. Now, the reason I kind of like this one is I like the coloring. Now, this picture, I mean, obviously it's been color corrected and photoshopped. This picture is more of an accurate representation of probably what the players see when they're in the room, but it's simple. I like it. It's very spacious, lots of room to move around. I like the seating. I love the big bright logo on the ceiling. I love that when teams have a bright logo on their ceiling, as you'll see as we go along the list here. It's simple, but I like it. Next up, we've got the Winnipeg Jets. Again, now this is where I'm probably going to get flamed because I can't fully express what it is. I know that this one looks similar because it's just a square and there's nothing too special about it. I just feel like it looks sleek. It looks good. Like, it just looks like a good room. Again, the criticism is the same. I wouldn't walk in there and think, wow, I'm in the show. I'm in the best, richest hockey league in the world. I wouldn't think that, but it's a nice little dressing room. Next up, we've got the Montreal Canadiens. And I gotta be honest, for this one, I mean, I watched 24CH back in the day. I've seen inside the room a lot. The Habs are not afraid to take us in the room. It's disappointing. I mean, I honestly thought it would be much nicer than this. It looks super basic. Like, you wouldn't think that this is the most storied, historic franchise in all of hockey from this dressing room. Like, there's a couple of nods to it, but it does not look like a special dressing room by any means. And the Bell Center is not that old, okay? Like, I mean, I think the room should be nicer than it is right now, and I know they did a renovation in 2015, but, I mean, to me, I'm disappointed that it looks like this, because the great Montreal Canadiens, to me, should have a much more beautiful room chocked and filled with their history. Up next, we've got the Washington Capitals, and again, for this one, I can't tell or decide if I like the bigger rooms or the more quaint ones, because I like both. I love the big, rich rooms, as you'll see later on, but I like this more cozy, kind of together feel, as long as you pull it off right. Like, you gotta have some cool design. The logo in the middle looks cool. I like how the jerseys are set up. Of course, there's some criticism. It's too tight together. Like, I like tight together, but not this much. Like, dude, I mean, you got to give Ovi some space to breathe there. I mean, has 3 guys on top of him in that room, but other than that, I like the feel of it. It feels professional. Next up, we've got the LA Kings room, and of course, this is when they had the separation, the 6 feet stuff. That's why those dividers are up, but I only have one thing to say about this room. It looks like a sauna. Next up, we've got the new Red Wings dressing room at Little Caesars Arena, and clearly they said, we're not going with all the fancy bells and whistles. We're keeping it simple for our new dressing rooms. I do love the stalls. Everybody has their own personal stall, and it's pretty big. You can't really see it on the picture, but if you look closer, you can see that they've got quite a bit of room there in their stalls. And I mean, I like the big logo on the ceiling. It's too simplistic for me. Again, you guys know what I'm all about. You're in the show. Show me that I'm in the show if I'm here. Like, I want to see a bunch of cool stuff and be like, wow, I'm in a rich NHL dressing room, and I don't really get that from this dressing room. Next, we have the New Jersey Devils. If you look at this picture, which of course is highly color corrected again, and the lighting is just perfect, it looks like, wow, this is really cool. This picture is a more accurate representation of what it looks like for the players when they're in there. It probably looks a bit sleeker than that because the first picture was more modern, but I do like how big and spacious it is. Again, I know there's a lot of people who say, no, it needs to be small so all the players are tight knit together, working together. I like it big. Players can stretch, they can roll out, they can warm up together, they can do some stuff. I like the big dressing rooms. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. Nothing special here, honestly. I don't really have very much to say. 2-time Cup champs in 2020 and 2021. I guess I thought it would be nicer because there's quite a bit of flair with the Tampa Bay Lightning, but just super basic for them. Up next, we've got the St. Louis Blues room. Nothing too special once again. I do like the logo at the top. I like how it's laid out, but if I put this with like 4 of the other rooms I showed you, they wouldn't really stand out very much. I guess I like it the best out of all the ones that are like half circle shaped with the wooden kind of seats there. I like it the best. I like the cubicles at the top. I like the separation in the seats there. But again, it's nothing special for a room like the ones you'll see coming later on in the list. All right, up next, we've got the Toronto Maple Leafs dressing room. And yes, you will see the Tampa Bay Lightning stuff on there. This is from the bubble when all the teams came to Toronto to play there. It just looks very corporate. Doesn't it just look like a business room, like a war room where executives would talk about, I don't know, a bunch of business stuff or have like some kind of meeting? That's what it looks like. It just looks very corporate, and it doesn't look bad. Like, I like it. It looks modern and sleek, but it doesn't look like an ice hockey dressing room. It looks like a business meeting room. And now compare that to the Minnesota Wild room with the like ice hockey rink in the middle of it. I don't know why. Some people think that's super tacky. I like it. I don't know. I guess maybe that's just me. I like that. And this is what I meant by the list is subjective. You can flame me. Tell me I'm blind. Stevie Wonder has better taste in dressing rooms than I do. But I like that little thing in the middle. I like it. It just feels like, okay, we're here to play hockey. We're in a hockey dressing room. We're not going for a business meeting or something. I like that. It looks good. It looks quaint, cozy. I like it. I'm ready to play hockey looking at that. Next up, Colorado Avalanche, which is a similar type of deal, but you'll notice up top you can see the retired numbers, and I like it looks like an actual ice rink, okay? It's not with the weird kind of Minnesota Wild colors. I like that, but this one to me, it's like that one, but even better. I like this room a lot. I like what they did with the flooring, and again, I like the retired numbers up top to remember the greats who came before you. I think that's a very nice touch. Next up, we got the Vancouver Canucks room. Now, ever since NHL Revealed came out in 2014, I've been seeing this room, and every time I see it, I'm like, wow, it looks pretty good. I like this room. I like the circle feel. It feels like everybody's kind of united together. There's like a cool blue tint that comes over the room when you watch like interviews and stuff in there. I mean, I like how it feels. It feels very modern and cool. Next up, how about this one? I mean, okay, looking at it, I'm thinking about putting it higher up on the list. The Florida Panthers room looks awesome. I love the red and stuff. I love the logo up top. I don't know. I think all the colors all the colors. It's mostly red, but I think it all just kind of works super well and just looks very cool, professional, sleek. I love how this looks. Like, I look at that, and like I said earlier, I would walk into that dressing room and be like, wow, I'm in the National Hockey League. This is sweet. Up next, we've got the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I love how, again, very big, spacious, very cool logo up top and down on the floor. And it's just, again, very cool, very spacious, lots of room for players to stretch and stuff. You look at this, it's grandiose. It's like when you go to an NFL stadium or something, it's like, wow, this is a really cool stadium. You would walk into this dressing room, and I guarantee you people say, wow, because it just looks really good. All right, this one's a sneaky pick for me, and I don't see a lot of people giving it too much love. I love the Boston Bruins room. I mean, it looks like a war room, kind of. I like it. And again, you guys know by now I'm a sucker for like having the ice rink on the floor there. I like it. It looks vintage, but also very like rugged. I don't know, it just looks cool. It looks like a hockey room. It doesn't look too corporate like the Leafs room does, but it also doesn't look too super high-tech like I'm in 2055 or something. It looks like a cool balance in between the two. I really like it. All right, we're into the top 5 now, and this one's a jaw-dropper. Like, come on, look at that. Tell me, like, I looked at that, it's like, wow, all the colors just look great. The room just looks great. I love how bright it is, like the white and the bright yellow. It just, you'd walk in there, and you don't need any smelling salts. You'll wake up immediately. Wow, like, you're ready to go walking into that. A beautiful, beautiful room. The blue up top with the players, very high-tech. I love how it looks. It's beautiful. All right, up next, this one's newly renovated, the Columbus Blue Jackets. This looks beautiful with like the mini Jumbotron in the room. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, the Jackets room used to look bad. It looks to look really bland, but now it looks really good. I love how this looks. It's beautiful, man. I would walk in there, and this is what I meant when I was talking about earlier in the video. I want to walk into this and my breath be taken away. I want to know exactly where I am, and if I'm here, I know exactly that I'm here to play for the Columbus Blue Jackets. All right, up next we've got the Vegas Golden Knights in third place. And this one, I mean, they call Vegas the Fortress, right? I love how it looks. Everything's shiny, but it looks also rugged too. Like, you look at that flooring. I don't know. This one's, it's maybe a guilty pleasure for me. A lot of people don't like it, but I just love how this looks. I would walk into here and I'd be like, wow, yeah, this is cool. Like the flooring, like I said, the gray on the sides, it just looks cool. I did wish that there was more gold in here, but I just think it's a really cool looking dressing room. And at number 2, we've got the Edmonton Oilers dressing room, similar to the Pittsburgh Penguins one. And I promise you, the more teams that move into new arenas, they're going to start to have dressing rooms. They'll look more like this. It's the huge semicircle. The picture doesn't do it justice. I've actually been to this dressing room as well. It is massive, dude. It's huge. So much room. Depends which side of the corner you're on. Like, do you think that it's annoying to have to talk to your teammate from across the room and ask them to pass you some tape? Or do you like the big space? I like it. I think it feels very grandiose, very professional, like I mentioned before, very rich, okay, very new era, and I like that. And the huge Oilers logo up top. Go watch the videos with Ben Stelter, RIP, such a great kid, when he got to go in the room and meet Connor McDavid and the Oilers. Then you'll really see how big the room looks from that. And finally, at number 1, look at this beauty. I mean, what do I need to say about it? Come on. From the way the lights are set up to the way the logo is peeking out and the way that everybody knows their stall in this half circle of the Buffalo Sabres room. by looking at the numbers that are like in the wall there. I love everything about this dressing room. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's breathtaking, and you can even peek into the hallway there a little bit. See, that looks beautiful. But just as a room, I mean, I would walk in here and my jaw would be dropped. It was super tight between the Edmonton room and the Buffalo room, but just if you would just look up in this room, to me, that's what makes the difference here. And again, it's big, but not as big as a lot of the other rooms we saw, especially not Edmonton's. And I think I like that. Okay, I like both, but I do like how this is grandiose, cool, and big, but not too big. So that's where I'm going here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Give me your rankings. Like if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know, okay? Comment, subscribe if you're new. See you in the next one. Peace out.